This is WTRF, the home of 7 News. Sponsored by Bordas & Bordas. 7 News at 6 begins now.
Now at 6, a routine traffic stop for one local task force led to an amazing and unexpected discovery that totaled over $500,000. Last Friday, detectives with the Belmont County Sheriff's Office conducted a search on a vehicle and uncovered narcotics, including fentanyl, crack cocaine, and other paraphernalia, as well as a handgun. But a more detailed search uncovered a bag of antique coins totaling over $500,000. Thanks for joining us for 7 News at 6. I'm Michelle Chavez. Detectives then learned the suspects were persons of interest in a burglary in Grandview Heights, just outside of Columbus. The coins also matched items taken during that theft. 50-year-old Jason Skaggs and 29-year-old Jasmine Skaggs, both of Columbus, were arrested for drug and weapon charges. The Sheriff's Office credits the work of the unit assigned to investigating drug activity in the area.
Our interdiction guys are really trained to look out for vehicles, and they're very thorough in what they do. They're very well trained. Our deputies are the same, but these guys do this every day. That's why Sheriff Lucas, put this interdiction team together to stop vehicles, get as much drugs coming from our area out of here and weapons.
The couple is currently being held in the Belmont County Jail on drug and weapons charges. Once their charges are processed in Belmont County, they will likely be turned over to the Grandview Heights Police Department to face burglary charges. All new tonight, a West Virginia man has been sentenced after pleading guilty for attempted murder and kidnapping. 51-year-old Charles William Sims Jr. hit a woman several times with a metal pipe. Sims also made threats to kill her. Wtrf police added that the department's Garrett Ammon, quote, did a fabulous job preventing that, end quote. Sims Jr. was sentenced to at least 13 years to life in prison with the eligibility for parole after 13 years. Sims Jr. is in the Northern Regional Jail. And taking a look at your forecast this evening, it's been quite the cold one out there as we get closer to the weekend. Why don't we take a live look right now outside at the Highlands, where you can see it looks pretty calm out there. But the question is, will this be the view all weekend? Why don't we send it on over to Chief Meteorologist Zach Petty to find out. Zach.
Yeah, Michelle, looks like we're going to start to see the developments of our next wintry weather system. But if you're looking for high snow accumulations, you're going to have to travel into the eastern panhandle to see anything measurable or appreciable, at least across the West Virginia region or the tri-state area itself. Although conditions are rather quiet at this stage of the forecast, live look at Storm Tracker 7 dual HD Doppler radar overlaid with satellite imagery features some gray skies overhead. We will actually start to see those clouds clear out and funnel their way out of our region as we head into the overnight hours and to begin your finally Friday. Nice change in pace for us. At least a little bit of sunshine will certainly brighten the mood, but those temperatures are certainly cold. We are sub-freezing, at least on my map. Temperatures into Wheeling, 29, Cadiz at 28, 30 degrees through Steubenville, Weirton, Barnesville, and Cambridge over into Guernsey County. We'll continue to see a downward trend in temperatures. Winds will be noticeable enough that will factor in a slight wind chill as you step out the door tomorrow. Low 20s is what we can expect to wake up to. It will feel like the upper teens. Full Extra Forecast breaks down this weather system that we've been talking about all week in just a couple of minutes. The latest in news. Over to you, Michelle.
Thanks, Zach. New details tonight. A West Virginia city said they have no interest in taking control over Payton City's water system. In a letter to the Public Service Commission of West Virginia, New Martinsville Mayor Sandy Hunt stated the city has no interest in assuming control of the water work. Hunt said they do not have the manpower or funds to take over. To do this, Hunt said they would need to lay 4 miles of an 8-inch line with associated pumps to fill the tanks located at the north end of Payton City, costing about $4 million. Public comment and evidentiary hearings will be held on January 11th to determine whether Payton City is a distressed or failing utility. West Virginia State Trooper Abraham Bean was given a true hero's welcome home after spending weeks in the hospital. Trooper Bean was shot 4 times while serving an arrest warrant last month, and he had to have part of his leg amputated as a result. This is from his escort after being released. Dozens of fellow troopers came out to show their support to Trooper Bean and his family. Trooper Spessert was also taken to the hospital, but he was released shortly after. 60 Republican members of Congress are visiting the United States-Mexico border today. It's part of their assessment of the ongoing border crisis. Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown says both parties have to work to fix the border. He said presidents on both sides of the political aisle have dropped the ball. Brown's goal is to prevent people from crossing the border to bypass the legal immigration process.
The first thing we need to do is pass a law that fixes this, and that means both parties coming to the table. It means then we need to pass the bill with Ukraine and Israel at the same time.
Brown adds one of his biggest concerns is fentanyl being brought into the country through checkpoints and making its way into Ohio. The buzz continues across West Virginia after the announcement that LG Electronics is going to open up operations in the state. Here's what we know so far. First, there's the $700 million investment by LG and a promise of high-paying jobs, at least initially. LG is best known to consumers for its flat-screen TVs and household appliances, but those won't be made here. Instead, LG is expanding its footprint into healthcare, specifically to help expand telehealth visits with doctors across the nation. That's why we're seeing those partnerships with West Virginia University and Marshall University.
Exactly what we can help as LG Electronics in terms of digital health and clean tech and AI and job reskilling. And that's why we are very much interested in working with West Virginia.
They're a technology-oriented company. There's an innovation and an entrepreneurship flywheel that will be created with all kinds of spin-off jobs and opportunities. This is the diversification and the new economy for which we've been seeking.
While the new venture known as LG Nova will be centered in West Virginia, the goal is to eventually supply healthcare assistance to the surrounding Appalachian region. LG Nova will initially have branch offices at Marshall University in Huntington and WVU in Morgantown, but company leaders say they'll likely add other locations in West Virginia. Batteries the size of football stadiums are going to be made in Weirton very soon, and Form Energy says they need hundreds of people to help power them. A huge hiring fair at the Millsop Center drew more than 300 candidates for manufacturing jobs at the new Form Factory 1. The company plans to build backup energy sources for the power grid at the former Weirton steel site. Form Energy's president says demand was so overwhelming, the line was already full half an hour before the event even started.
Incredible. In the first 36 hours, we got about 175. We also allowed folks to come in for walk-ins, and about 100 people are lined up in the gym behind you. This is a really incredible place to start and grow your business, and we have been really impressed and pleasantly surprised by the warm welcome that West Virginia and Weirton in particular has given us.
The open positions included machinists, industrial engineers, warehouse staff, and many more. The factory broke ground last May, but is expected to be up and running early this summer. Coming up on 7 News, multiple law enforcement and other emergency personnel respond to the scene of a school shooting this morning in Perry, Iowa. We have a full look right after the break.